It's summer and it's hot, and your plants are probably struggling during this heat wave. I know it's really tough to watch your plants struggle, get limp, start to get stressed out after you've put in all that hard work all season. So in today's video, I'm going to share 5 tips to help you protect your plants during high temperatures. Stick around. This is In the Garden. Welcome back. Whether you're a first-time viewer or a returning subscriber, I'm glad you're here. This is In the Garden, where I share tips and tools to help new gardeners be successful in backyard vegetable gardening. Today, I'm talking about dealing with high temperatures, especially during heat waves like we're having right now. It's currently over 100 degrees, and the high today in the desert is going to be over 106. That's really hot for your vegetable plants. When it gets that hot, your plants will definitely start to struggle. Most fruits and vegetables can deal with temperatures up even as high as the mid-90s with no problem at all. But once it gets into the triple digits, your plants are really going to start to struggle, and you're going to have to do something to help protect them to keep them producing during those hottest parts of the summer. So today, I'm going to share with you 5 tips or strategies that you can use to help protect your plants during high temperatures. We face high temperatures here in the desert every summer and often for most of the summer. And stick around till the end of the video, and I'm going to share a bonus tip to help you make your garden more enjoyable for everyone during a heat wave. The first tip I want to share is to provide shade for your plants. This is as easy as putting shade cloth over your plants, and actually that's really effective and it helps keep the plants a whole lot cooler. You don't need to shade your plants all day. You really only need to provide shade for them during the hottest parts of the day. You can see behind me that my plants are shaded with shade cloth just draped over the top. That works really well to protect them during the hottest parts of the day. But you don't even need that. If it's not windy, you can use something like a tarp, or even one of the pop-up canopies that you can buy, and just put it over your garden during the hottest parts of the day. Make sure it's anchored though, because winds often come up out of nowhere and you don't want your canopy or your tarp to blow away or cause damage to things. The second tip is to provide slightly more water. And when I say slightly, I mean a tiny amount. 10 to 20% more water during your morning watering. This is going to provide a little extra water to make up for the water that is evaporated during the hottest parts of the day during these high temperatures. Your plant probably doesn't actually need any more water, but that's just going to make sure that there's enough water in the soil when it gets this hot that your plant will still have enough water. And that leads me into tip number 3, which is to avoid watering during the middle of the day. Even though it's hot and your plants start to look like they're struggling, you still don't want to water in the middle of the day. Unless your plant is completely collapsed over, laying on the ground at the verge of death, you want to avoid that. Watering during the middle of the day is really your last resort for your plants. Tip number 4 is to make sure that you're picking all the ripe fruit every day. Picking the right fruit can free up resources of your plant to keep the plant alive and healthier instead of trying to keep that fruit growing and ripening more. So just go out every day and make sure you've picked anything that's ripe in your garden to free up those resources for the rest of the plant to be able to grow better. Think of your plant kind of like your home Wi-Fi. If you have a bunch of devices connected to it, all the devices are going to get slow and not function the way that they're supposed to. But if you turn off a few of those devices, then your Wi-Fi has more resources to give to the remaining devices that are still connected. That's going to make those function better. Your plant's the same way. By removing the right fruit, your plant has more resources to apply to the fruit that's still remaining on the plant. Tip number 5 is to not use misters in your garden. You need to resist the urge to put misters up, even though that may seem like it's a good idea to cool down the air around your plants, but really it's going to lead to more problems in your garden. The first thing, it's going to create a lot of humidity in your garden, and with the heat and the humidity, that could lead to fungus and diseases to start forming on your plants, and you don't want that. And also, when the water starts getting onto the leaves from the misters, it starts building up into droplets, and the sun hits those, it's going to actually burn the leaves, and that's going to cause damage to your plants as well. So you want to avoid misters in your garden. And now the bonus tip that I promised you. The bonus tip is that everyone in your garden is thirsty. That includes your plants, you, but also the bees and the butterflies, lizards and birds. Anything that's visiting your garden during a heat wave is going to be thirsty. By providing a small water source, you can actually encourage pollinators to visit your garden during a heat wave. The bees will come into your garden, they'll stop and get a little drink while they're doing their work, going from flower to flower. Also, animals like lizards and birds, they're thirsty too, and they know that your watermelon or your tomatoes, that they're full of water, and they'll actually eat those, they'll take a bite or two just to get the water out of them. By providing a water source in your garden, you're going to discourage those animals from eating the fruit. They'll just get a drink from the water and leave your fruit alone most of the time. I know when it gets hot outside and you're struggling in your garden, it gets really frustrating. But following these 5 tips and the bonus tip I gave you can actually really increase your success while gardening during a heat wave and during high temperatures here in the desert. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some helpful information to deal with the high temperatures that we face here in the desert. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to get more content like this, more videos to help you be successful in your backyard vegetable garden, make sure you subscribe so you can get all my latest videos. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.